Hi guys, and welcome back to the Shannon Show podcast. Hello if you're new. So today's episode is going to be a review of Love Island 2020 episode 4. So there isn't as much drama as there was the last episode, but drama all the same. The episode starts off with Connor and Sophie basically telling Naz to be a bit more flirty. I guess maybe encouraging him to try and pursue things Shawnice again. And I feel like we all knew how this was gonna go. I don't even know what Sophie was thinking because Shawnice is always bitching to the girls saying she doesn't like Naz. Maybe Sophie misinterpreted that maybe Naz wasn't putting in enough effort. But yeah, they basically set Naz up for failure because, I don't know, Shawnice, she was just being a bit standoffish. She was a bit more perceptible than she usually was in that kind of first instance when Naz was trying it with her. But yeah, I just feel sorry for Naz. I just feel like he's being hopeful and then other people giving him hope. Maybe he thought he wants someone to want him and he wants Shawnice to want him. And then obviously Sophie and Connor saying, yeah, you've got a shot. It's giving him like this false sense of confidence. It's just going to continue to get knocked down. And then after that, Paige and Ollie have a moment and Ollie apologizes through lying through his teeth. And, admits that he was lying and, sincerely apologizes and asks for another chance. And Paige is like, I accept your apology, but she's being open to other options now. So note that. Paige said that she's being open to other options now. So then Mike in the confessional, I don't trust him. I was sitting and marinating, this whole day, and I don't trust Mike. But anyway, Mike says, he's put his eggs in one basket and it's paid off. This is false. This is false news. So now he's lying to himself in the confessional. Yesterday, he told Jess that he liked Leanne more. But he did not tell her, well, that means that you and I are finished. As in, I like Leanne, end of. He said it in a way of, it's kind of the same way he flipped it when Jess picked him and he went up to Leanne and said, well, I'm feeling Jess, so I'm going to explore that. I feel like he did the same thing to Jess, kind of seeing if she was now going to up the ante so that she could be first place. Obviously, that didn't happen. She stormed off now because she doesn't want to be second place. And now all of a sudden it's, oh, well, I told Jess I didn't see a future with her. But he never said any of that. Now he's saying he put his eggs in one basket. But after that conversation with Jess, he only had one egg, which was Leanne anyway. Anyway, shifty. And this is how I know my suspicions were correct. Because he goes and pulls up Jess. I've probably confused their names already, but I think you know who I'm talking about. So he pulls up Jess to have a talk with her to hash things out because obviously he left the door open but she kind of just shut it. And also the other reason why I think he wanted to have a chat with her is so he could insert the lie of him saying, well, I told you I don't see us going forward, so that the lie would add up if Jess and Leanne ever spoke to each other about it. I feel like that was one of the objectives of having this conversation with her. Obviously that wasn't successful. He didn't manage to squeeze that in. He is now pretty sure that their relationship or potential relationship is over and that she's no longer open to getting to know him. I feel like when he was saying, obviously I'm with Leanne now, but we still get on. I feel like that was him testing the waters to see if she was still open to getting to know him without explicitly saying, do you still want to get to know me? Because then he could have ran back to Leanne and be like, well, actually, I do want to go get to know Jess. But he wanted confirmation that she still wanted to get to know him. So obviously that conversation, Jess gave him confirmation that she didn't want to know him like that and she didn't even want to be friends, minimum. She just wanted to keep it cool and keep her distance. I don't care what anyone says. Mike had held that conversation not just to kind of hash things out, but to see if the door was really shut with a screw on it. He was definitely prodding for that information. Obviously, Eve says that, she feels that, not Eve, Jess, tells Mike that she feels that she's been misled. And we don't see everything. My suspicions are that he's been telling Leanne one thing and he's been telling Jess one thing, and that the conversation yesterday was to test the waters to see if maybe to test their relationship, test how much Jess really wanted him, and whether she was ready to step her game up to compete with Leanne. But anyway, moving on to the next kind of Splitsville relationship. Obviously, Shauna is now gone back to entertaining Callum like I thought she would. I think it's just because she's cute, innit? He's one of the cutest guys in the house. Who else is there to flirt with? So her matter of attack is to be needy, but not too needy. But that kind of backfires because, Connor's like, I don't really want to cuddle you. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I don't want to disrespect Eve. So, but even after all that, she's still trying, with the flirting and stuff like that. And, maybe it's because she genuinely likes him and wants to be recoupled up with him. Or maybe it's because, he's the best option in the house right now before she finds somebody else. But I think at that point, she was giving Callum a bit too much attention. You could tell it was getting to his ego. So obviously Eve is witnessing all of this, but she's kind of conflicted as to, whether she should now be proactive with giving Callum attention. And, her sister's like, yeah, you should, so he knows that you're interested. She's just kind of conflicted. What do you think? Do you feel like because Shauna's now actively challenging her, Eve needs to up the ante, or whether she should just play it cool? Let me know what you think Eve should do. Then obviously, Ollie, we already know he's left. But, they make a little storyline, and suddenly now after Paige says that she's open to getting to know other people, Ollie now says that he is now just realising that he is missing his ex. And first he tells the boys, and obviously the boys say, stay, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. And I'm not sure if they know how rich he is, but it's a thing where Ollie could literally recreate this experience. He could buy a mansion in South Africa. He could pay women to pretend to like him and pretend to step forward for him. He could literally recreate this experience. I feel like he was in here for fame, and his experience is not going as well as he thought it would go. He thought he would be in a couple. I think he thought he wouldn't have been someone who'd have no one step forward for him, and I think he was just weighing up the situation, and he'd rather just be at home in luxury. At this point, he's already made up his mind. He goes to tell Paige, and then the producers make him do this long ass speech saying, oh, I'm in love with someone, and I have to leave, and I could come out and she could tell me to fuck off, but that's a risk I'm willing to take. He's telling everybody he's made good friends. You guys are like my brothers. And I'm like, each other 3 days. How long is 3 days in there? But yeah, everybody's like, oh yeah, we're gonna miss him. But I feel like everyone will forget about him by next week. But yeah, are we buying this He's Gone Home for Love story or not? But yeah, the producers were just forcing it with the dramatics, the indie music, the folk music. It was just too much. But yeah, next we see an alliance being formed. We see Jess talking to Naz to secure her spot. She's very flirty, but I feel like she didn't actually say that she wanted to have a romantic relationship with him. I feel like she was just kind of saying she was just basically saying that they should be friends and stick with each other while they find other people. I'm not sure if Naz processed that, because I feel like that's what she was saying, but then being flirty at the same time to kind of distract from the fact that she basically said, let's just be friends and use each other when we don't have anyone to couple up with. But yeah, Jess is smart, but I feel like she's also messy, because I just don't know why she felt the need to go up to Shawnice after. All she needed to say was, yeah, we had a conversation, about being open to getting to know each other or whatever. All of this, yeah, he said that you had given him mixed signals. That was unnecessary and that was very messy. And I feel like she knew exactly what she was doing because she knows the type of annoying bitch Shanice is and that she gets offended by these minute things. So obviously Shanice is now offended that Naz said she had mixed feelings, which is literally no big deal. And she goes up to him and she's like, why are you telling people I said you have mixed feelings? I've made it very clear that there's no spark between us, blah, 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 blah. And at this point, and then she was also like, and he was like, oh, how he wasn't sure. She was like, okay, well, next time clarify with me before you go telling everyone. I'm like, telling everybody what? Telling everybody what? What? She's acting like they were in bed together and, she accidentally touched his dick and he went around saying she touched my dick. She's been just so dramatic and honestly, I think she's a bully. And I want to see the back of her now. She's actually, her face just pisses me off. So obviously there's a text. Paige gets a text and basically said that there's 2 new hotties coming. There's 2 new boys coming into the villa. All the girls start cheering, Connor saying, I'm not stressed about these 2 boys coming in. And I was just thinking, first off, that just screams immature. That screams insecure. Like, who fucking says that out loud? And then Sophie was just kind of joking, saying, you should be. And then my man, Callum, was just pressed, darling. So all the other girls are kind of excited. Shauna's basically already plotting. She says she's going to make Callum jealous by, giving these boys extra attention. And Connor and Callum are pissed. I feel like the other guys are taking it well. Is there even any other guys in the house now that Ollie's gone? Naz and Mike are kind of taking it well. Mike's making a comment saying, oh yeah, they just want a reaction. But he's taking it, he's keeping it quite cool. Naz is keeping it cool. But Callum is pressed, but Callum is even more pressed. The way his mouth is just open, it's like the stress is going to cause his teeth to fall off. Callum is saying, I don't know why they're reacting like that. It's not nice. We wouldn't do that to them. And I'm just thinking, these boys actually have memory loss because when the twins came in, they were all oogling and googling. These men, especially these insecure men and these men that like to play around with people, they hate when you give them the same energy. So Connor, he is so pressed that he has to pull Sophie to the side now. And bearing in mind, Sophie's been giggling with the girls. She's saying she's excited for the new boys to come in. And let me tell you, Sophie was not joking. Sophie is generally excited for these boys to come in. But obviously, Connor pulls her. And he's like, oh, I don't like, how you guys were cheering and stuff. Like, it's not nice. It's disrespectful kind of thing. And she was like, oh, I'm winding you up. I'm really joking. And then she was like, oh, it's not nice. Like, I'm sure you wouldn't like it if, I did that, if we got a text that a girl was coming in. And then she's like, I'm joking, like, I'm not excited for the new boys to come in, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, this seems like feeling very controlling because Sophie is bold-faced lying to Connor. But I feel like she's doing it because she knows that Connor is insecure and she knows that Connor gets triggered easily. So it's just better to lie to him to stroke his ego. And obviously in the snippet, when, the texts are being read out about who's being picked for a date, you just see Sophie with a big smile on her face because she wants to be rescued from the depth that is Connor. But what do you guys think? Do you think Connor was well within his rights to react the way he did? Do you think he was being a bit too extra? Do you feel like he was entitled to feel that way but should have kept it to himself? What do you think? I just feel like it's been 3 days. You're not exclusive. So what the hell? What I'm saying is Sophie just needs to run. She needs to run before he starts putting poison in her coffee. But yeah, let's talk about these new guys. So they're both decent looking. I think one of them's more better looking than the other. I'm not sure, but they're both. I'd step forward for the both of them. And they both look like older men. Because obviously, Shauna's been saying, she usually doesn't go for these younger boys because they're immature. But we got some older looking men. I'm thinking they're both like 25 plus. So obviously, I don't think they said their names. But obviously, one is, you know, Caucasian. He's got the beard, and then one is a bit more clean shaven, and he looks a bit. He's tanned. He's looking a bit ambiguous, and he's quite tall, I think, and he's like got some muscle. You know, he looks like a manly man. Yeah, and they both look quite manly. So, in terms of who I think I'd want to see on a date, it would have been Leanne and Shauna. Those would have been my first picks. But now, I'm thinking Shauna and Sophie. Simply because Connor and Callum are so pressed. That's why. But who I think will be after them, obviously Miss Fudge is going to be after them. And obviously Paige is going to be after them. And who else? The twins. I bet both of them thirsty twins will want a piece as well. So that would be interesting to see who the boys are feeling, who the boys are interested, who the boys are feeling, who they're going to be interested in. Who do you think they're going to be interested in? And who do you think they're going to pick for a date? And who do you want to see on a date with them? I'm not sure how many dates they're going to be able to pick though. But yeah, let me know. So on Twitter, people are saying that Naz deserves way better than Shanice. People are saying that Connor's gonna bite Sophie in her sleep. And you know what? Yeah, I feel like he's fully contemplated taking a big chunk out of her. People saying Shanice is bad vibes. Not a lot of love for Shanice on this app. People are saying that Sophie needs to be rescued. People are saying Connor is the new Joe of the season. I think obviously there was that whole thing with Joe last season, but I think Connor's worse. Who do you think is worse, guys? Joe from last season or Connor? People saying Ollie had like no best bits. Basically, nobody really cares that he left. People are saying why the boys acted like they weren't excited as fuck to see Tweedledee and Tweedledum. This is what I was... exactly, just what I was saying. People saying they want Shanice out. So yeah, for those of you wondering, my handle is shannonbafundilaenquiries. It's in the description if you're wondering. It's in the description. But yeah, let me know what you thought of this episode and let me know what you thought of this podcast. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and if you have subscribed, don't forget to put your notification bell on so you'll know as soon as the next episode drops. Till next time, guys, bye!